Hey guys, welcome back. In this video I want to talk about how to start working with the Razor view in the MVC websites. So let's begin. Firstly, we talked about the controller and we know how to add it to the project and also how to create the appropriate folder for the controllers. In this video we want to complete my mission by learning more about the view. First, we talked about the structure of the MVC website, and as I mentioned, we have the controller over here that gets the data from the model and put it inside the view and generate the view and send the response as the web page to the user browser or the computer. Now we know the controller and how to add the project. In the next step, let's talk more about the view. What is the view? If I take a look in this example over here, we need to learn the view. The view is indeed a kind of Razor view. What is the Razor view? It is the HTML file plus the C# codes inside it. The Microsoft have added the C# codes directly inside the HTML file. Then the programmers can directly write the C# codes inside the HTML file. Wow, it's really great and amazing feature and will save a lot of time for us while designing the websites. And also the Razor view is the interface of the website. Now for better understanding, if I open up the Google Chrome and get inside one website, something like the Microsoft.com, and after that the Surface, for instance. As you see over here, I have the web page that is generated based on this address. So we call this as the Razor view. I'm not sure the technology that is in use by the Microsoft for this web page is the MVC or not. And my intention is not identifying that. I want to just show you the real world example of the Razor view. So this is the Razor and it is a kind of HTML. And if I get inside the source of file, come over here, right click, and the view page source. In the results over here in my view, I can't see any C# codes. All of these are only the HTML codes to create the appearance of the web page. What about the C# codes? The C# codes are in the source of this web page. After running it and after calling it, the servers will replace it with the HTML files. So we can't see any C# codes over here in the source of the web pages. Now let's talk about the real world example. Come to the Visual Studio, open it up. First we talked about how to add the first MVC project, and all of these are added automatically by the Visual Studio itself. Indeed, this is the template for the MVC projects that are added automatically. So we have the home controller over here, and after that, if I take a look, I have the home here, and inside it I have some CS HTML file. It means it is the Razor view because we have the CS for the C#, then the HTML file. And if I click on the index, for instance, wow, what happened? I have some HTML codes over here to create the design of the web page, then some all the C# codes over here that are directly used inside this web page. And also if I take a look inside the privacy.cshtml or C#html, then we have the similar matter and we have some HTML code beside the C# code over here. We call this kind of the web pages as the Razor view. You know what? The Razor view is the technology of the future and will save a lot of time for us because the programmer doesn't need to write all of these codes separately in all the file. Currently, I have only one line of the code. That is not too much. But in the real world project, we need sometimes to write up to 100 lines of the C# code. In these situations, the Razor view is really great technology and saves a lot of time for us. Now, if I take a look in the illustration over here, as I mentioned, the Razor view is the HTML file plus the C# codes inside it, and it is the interface of the website. But there is another most important part of the MVC, and it is the action. And the action is not the individual part, and it is inside the controller. But its duty is really important one, and we need to learn it first. Then start working with the Razor view. It's time consuming, so let's talk about the action in the next part of this video. Stay with me. Thanks for your time. Hello and welcome. In this video, I want to show you how to start adding the Razor View to your MVC project. Now, let's begin. Firstly, we talked about the Razor View structure and why we need to work with it. Before talking about the action, it's a really great idea to add the same Razor View inside my project. Indeed, we are over here and we want to work with the view in the real world project. Now let's come over here and open up my Visual Studio, and this is my previous project and the new project over here. And if I scroll down, I have the views folder, I have the controllers, then the views. And inside it, for each controller, I have the dedicated folder. Suppose I want to work with the home controller, and this is the home controller that I want to work with it. Then we need to add the home folder over here inside the views folder and put all of my views inside it. For better understanding, if I take a look in the previous project and the example project in it, I have the controller, the home, then inside the home I have the index, then the privacy. These are the views that are connected to the home controller or are controlling by the home controller. So we have the same structure, and if I take a look, suppose I want to work with the home controller, and here I have the home. And if you want to work with the main controller, you need to add your views inside the main. Now let's select the home and right click on it. And here I have different options like the controller to add them inside the project. First, you can select the view from here or the scaffolded item. Both of these are similar. Then I have the new item, and if I click this one, the new item, and get inside the ASP.NET Core, then you need to select the Razor View. So I have the Razor View over here, and it is the empty. Don't select the Razor page. It is different technology. You need to use the Razor View. It's a really important matter, and don't complain from the programming world if you select the Razor page, because it is completely another type of the file. So let's select the Razor View, and it should be empty. And after that, I have the name over here with the CSHTML extension, C# plus the HTML or the Razor file. So it is the index, and you can use any name for that. For instance, the privacy or about us. Let's select the about us, and this is about us or about, no worries, and add it to the project. After a couple of seconds, the about is added over here. And also, if I right click on this, come to the add and add the view. Let's select this method, the view, and it is the scaffolded window. As I mentioned previously, the scaffolded are the library for automatically generating the codes. So we have different options over here, the MVC, the controller, then the view. Inside the view, I have the Razor View empty and the Razor View. I want to add the empty Razor View, so let's select this and come to the add. After a couple of seconds, the same window, and the Razor View is automatically selected over here. This time let's select the index by default. It's not important matter because you can write anything that you want. Indeed, it is the name of your web page that you wanna show it to your user, about us or index or contact us or the sales or anything that you want. Now right click over here, come to the add, then the new scaffolded item, and this is. I'm showing 3 methods for you for your deeper understanding. And this is the common, then the MVC and the MVC controller. First we talked about this matter, and here I have the Razor View empty. In this step, don't use the Razor View, just use the Razor View empty and add the Razor View, come over here, and the Razor View, and name it, for instance, contact us or sales or customers. And this is the customers. Now I have the about the customers and the index pages. All of these are the individual pages that you can show it inside your website. Now let's select the index, and if I get inside it, it is completely empty and I haven't any kind of the C# code or the HTML. working with the eraser pages is really simple and safer. Just come over here, and after the curly braces, you can add some HTML tags like the heading 1 or H1, and this is the H1. I can say hello world. Now I can add the page name. It is the index, so let's add another one and come to this, and I can use the heading 2. Currently I assume that you are familiar with the HTML, so come over here and say the index page, or I'm index page. So I'm index page, and let's save everything. And also you can design anything that you want over here. Currently I don't want to talk more about the C# code or designing the web page by the HTML. I want to just talk about the structure of the view. Also in the about, I can come over here and add the div, and this is the div easily and quickly, and inside it I can add the heading, something like the heading 1 or heading 2 up to heading 6, and inside it I can write the about us, and this is about us page or something like that. Or even I can come over here, delete this part and this part easily, and put all of this together inside the same line of the HTML code. So this is about how we can add the view or the eraser view to our project. Okay, excellent, we did it. Now it's time to connect the view to the appropriate controller. To do that, we need to add a kind of the connector. And what is the connector between the view and the controller? We call it as the action. The action is really great and amazing, but time consuming. So let's talk about it in the upcoming tutorial. Thanks for your time.